Welcome to the Raw the Real podcast. I'm Dominic. I'm joined with my three older brothers, Anthony, Nicholas, and Benjamin. And then we have our guest star today, our roommate, Jonathan. And today we'll be talking about the Odyssey, as you see in the title. Oh, for sure. We're talking about the Odyssey, and we're going to go around and give our initial thoughts. I'll start first. I personally thought the Odyssey was a 5 out of 5 film. Nolan's best film ever made. I've seen it twice. Once in regular theaters, once in IMAX. It had me captivated the whole way through. I thought it was loud. I thought it was beautiful. His best movie by far.
Swing to the opposition.
Here's the deal. Whenever you hear someone say, here's the deal, something really lame's about to come out of your mouth. This is not one of those times. I thought it was a 4 out of 5 movie. I thought this was, honestly, one of Nolan's better films. I mean, Interstellar was trash.
True.
The Oppenheimer was pretty good. Dark Knight's awesome. The Prestige is the best Nolan film that has ever graced the canvas. That has not changed. Now, my problem with this movie, a lot of virtue signaling. At a lot of points, kind of annoying. But the story, in the end, was pretty good. And I enjoyed the film, and I thought it was pretty good. And on IMAX, so much better. If you haven't gone seen it in IMAX, you have to.
It's pretty loud.
It's very loud.
Pretty loud.
That Cyclops scene, my ears were burning. But I loved it because of it.
Imagine Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, I know. I wish
exactly our thoughts.
I wish we cared at that time. Like, if that was today, I would have been like, oh, we have to go to the IMAX to see that. But then it was sort of like, oh, bomb goes boom.
I mean, the only downside with the IMAX, though, is that the IMAX have terrible seats.
Oh, no, yeah, it's horrible.
And Oppenheimer, it was still loud, but I was able to just, recline in the chair, just, go all the way back, and almost take a nap. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Almost.
I didn't fall asleep.
I fell asleep in the third, fourth movie.
Telling myself a little bit.
Yeah. Nicholas, your thoughts?
Probably somewhere in the middle. I classy 4.5. I thought it was really good. I don't care about a lot of the problems Anthony has
Same.
because normal people shouldn't. It's a movie.
No, it's because you can't read.
No, it's just
That you're just
it's a movie.
No.
No, we're
Because you
doing
can't
this
read.
already.
You're taking personal shots at us because we care about we are okay if there's something a little bit off.
Okay.
We can see past.
No, take it. That's all you big dog.
How many stars did you get? 4.5.
4.5.
All right.
4.
John?
This seat arrived here 10 minutes ago, so I didn't have a star rating until 30 seconds ago. I'm gonna go with 5 out of 5 stars. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I have not seen many movies, so I'm kind of a dunce when it comes to this. But the plot was really good. It kept me engaged. I was familiar with the story, and I didn't feel like anything was completely totally off. They just rewrote everything. I had to ask Anthony a few questions about it because he reads Homer for fun because he's kind of weird like
I
that.
don't read Homer for fun.
Big
You all read Homer
big
in school.
Homer over here.
You
We're
all
the
read
only
Homer in
ones that
school.
read the poems.
I read the dumbed down version.
Dude,
of the
there's
poem.
24.
I've had-
it was long.
Never got past the comic book.
Never
Never got past the comic book.
I'll do it right.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I got a big tub of popcorn and I started eating it. And after I had a few handfuls, I was like, I don't like this. And then over the course of 2 hours, I ate the entire tub of popcorn.
No surprise there.
Should we do status quo?
Yeah, we already got a fat joke. In here. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was epic. I thought there were some really good I like some of the adjustments they made to it. I think it was.
Oh, for sure.
I think if we just did Homer's poem in a movie form, it would have kind of been a little rough, especially with. I thought it was interesting how they didn't have much interaction with the gods. I mean, they had Zendaya with Athena, but that was kind of weird because
She kind of just looked at him.
Yeah, she said
that was the
she
entire
said stuff at the
Zendaya only has one role in any movie.
But
Just be
she almost, I was kind of confused about this because it almost seemed like Odysseus may have just put a face to the name to what he was feeling because there was a scene where they slaughtered a girl who was Zendaya, and that was supposed to be his guilt. So it almost wasn't like Athena. It was almost
Like
more
personified.
like Odysseus is talking to like his guilt, if that makes sense, and he just put a face to it and called it Athena. Like they almost didn't have very much gods in the movie,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in some ways, that was really cool. In other ways, I want more gods, man.
Yeah, I wish we could have saw Poseidon. I think, seeing him in the water, shooting a tsunami at him or something was cool.
He's just like big Poseidon.
well, in the graphic novel Nicholas is referring to, he's like a big water giant, and he shoots a tsunami.
That would. I think that would look really.
Oh,
silly
and
in
I
the movie, is
don't
the
think
issue.
because it's no CGI, so
Yeah.
I guess that'd be hard to do.
But also that would be up to the standard of like a Marvel movie, like
True.
a big old giant.
Who's the Aquaman actor?
Jason Momoa.
You just get Jason Momoa back
we
there.
need Jason Momoa to be in less movies, and I don't think that's such a weird take.
I would have been happy if he was Poseidon. That would have been so great.
Water, fly.
But he's just Aquaman. Like he's just dressed up like Aquaman, and they just
I'm
call him
Aquaman.
Poseidon.
Yo, you killed my son. So yeah, overall, pretty good movie. I found it interesting. It was intense, but also definitely some flaws, and I'm sure we'll talk about it here shortly.
So do we want to go into positives? Anthony, do you have anything to say?
Do you have any positives? Did you like it?
I do have positives. I thought the ending scene.
Oh, it's perfect.
I thought the ending scene with the suitors was phenomenal. Maybe one of my favorite scenes I've ever seen in cinema. Now, sadly, that was following one of my least favorite things about the film, but that didn't make it any more awesome. And then also, in the last couple of days, I've started to really appreciate the Robert Pattinson meme, just sort of going around about the beggars,
yeah.
which is just really funny.
Get these beggars out of here.
No, I have Robert Pattinson as one of my biggest
I do
positives.
appreciate that they expanded it beyond just the Odyssey, because the Odyssey, like Homer's original poem, didn't really talk about Troy a whole lot. That's more of an earlier thing, but it was nice to give context, because if they just started where Homer did, there would be a lot of context that uncultured people today would just have no clue about what's going on. So I thought that was good. And then also it was phenomenal acting, it was phenomenal filming. A lot of the crying and screaming about the movie is I heard one person say that there was uninspired acting. That's just a lie. That's just a lie. But yeah, I thought there were a lot of positives. I thought it was a good film.
The music is also one of my biggest positives. Ludwig Göransson, the siren sound when he's when he's tied to the pole and screaming and stuff. It's the same sound that they use at the end when when Odysseus and Penelope meet at the end, which I thought was perfect. And that song's been stuck in my head all day. Another
the one with the weird pipe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also
I'm glad you enjoyed that. That was annoying, but
I thought it was so good.
That's fine.
And that part or the whole that music?
I don't know. It was kind of just grating against my ears. It was just sort of nails on chalk.
I completely disagree.
Music is it's subjective. Some people some people like Sabrina Carpenter, and some people like Green Day.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Some people like.
I feel like a lot of the same people like those.
Well,
Green Day and Sabrina Carpenter.
well,
yeah, they're both whiny.
You can say what you want, but he's going to get, I'm sure, an Oscar for something.
Who?
The conductor guy, Ludwig Göransson, composer, whatever.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Another huge, probably my biggest positive was Agamemnon.
Chloroforming.
Oh, he was in the movie
all over the place.
He was in the movie for maybe 5 minutes, and each scene he was in it was my favorite scenes. like the Troy scene when they're all
Gates fall.
the gates are opening and it's just him standing there.
Probably the best shot.
Oh,
in the entire
100%.
movie.
And it's so funny that the Benny Safdie guy, his last 3 movies have been Oppenheimer, Happy Gilmore 2, and now the Odyssey. So that guy's on a generational run.
Are you including Happy Gilmore 2 in your generational run?
Oh, I think you got to, but it's
Next
so weird.
episode.
You
He
have to?
plays like
Happy-
such a serious
Happy Gilmore
character.
2 ran off nostalgia purely.
Well,
Embracing
yeah,
nostalgia.
They had the star power.
What made it
Yeah.
so great. But yeah, I thought his character.
Speaking of star power, the cast in this I think was amazing, and you see actors like Tom Holland, who doesn't even have a big role. Like you're seeing these A-list actors that are have 4 lines, and I think that's so cool to see. It's cool to see, for example, Zendaya again, having a short part in a movie. Every movie
Yeah.
she's in, she has to be up front, but it's cool seeing her supporting side.
I was worried it was going to be a little bit hard to take them seriously.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, that's Spider-Man.
oh my gosh, it's Spider-Man. And Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't the most serious character
No.
of all time, but I thought they pulled it off pretty well.
Speaking of the actors, a lot of controversy with the actors. Personally, at the end of the day, it didn't bug me one bit. The only one that kind of bugged me was
So was Travis Scott doing? I see Travis Scott.
Travis Scott was the guy at the beginning who was like, "A man." Doom, doom.
It was Benjamin, it's because Travis Scott's a poet. They had to add
Okay,
a,
say
they had to add a
what-
poet.
say what you want.
They had to cast a poet because
Oh, yeah.
He
it's
Did you
poem.
notice
He
his
did a
name's-
good job of that. If
No.
you wouldn't have
What-
told me going into that movie that Travis Scott played that part,
I didn't know
I had no
that, yeah.
idea.
No, when that started, the movie started, and that a fleet, dun dun, a man, and it's him in the beach. I sat in my chair. I was like, okay, this is actually.
Did you notice his name was first in the credits?
I didn't. I mean, he was the first one.
I know, but it was Travis Scott, Odysseus.
Yeah. I mean-
and all the main characters, but Travis Scott is on top. I wonder if he worked that into his contract. He's like, Nolan,
I got to be at the top.
gotta be at
Well,
the top.
I saw somewhere where I think Nolan reached out to him, like, "Hey, I'm working on this project. Do you want to be it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be in it." So, no, Elliot Page, Travis Scott, Zendaya, none of them really bothered me. The only one was Helen of Troy, not because she's black, but
Oh my
for the
God.
fact that I know her from one movie, and it's the movie Us, which she is completely terrifying in.
I love that movie.
And so, you're there with John Berthnaw's character, what's his name? Menelaus. And you see her and she has the scars on her face, and she turns all I saw was just that creepy lady from Us. So
Yeah, and plus, no offense to her.
Here we go.
No offense to her. No one fought a war over that lady.
no,
There's no
And-
chance. No, that's just an objective fact.
no,
It just is.
she's no 10 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah, no one fought a war over her. And also, one thing that bugged me on the second watch through of the film
But
is the fact that she seemed ungrateful that she was,
okay.
pulled from the perils of Troy. She was ungrateful about the whole situation and the whole Trojan War, which is
Okay.
one of the big problems with the movie. But she just thoroughly frustrated me. She gave me I don't remember her name.
From what?
The Cinderella movie. No, Snow White movie. The one that no one watched.
Enchant? Oh, Rachel Zegler?
Yeah.
The reason no one liked Rachel Zegler was because of her horrible PR stunt.
Yeah, she was doing bad stuff PR-wise too.
Oh, I missed out what she's saying.
It's kind of similar in the fact that it's every princess and every queen in this movie that was supposed to have been, the damsel in distress saved by the heroes of the story were turned into girl bosses.
One thing she said before is that she wished she could go back in time and talk to Homer and ask her why there wasn't more women representation in his poem.
Yeah,
Why do you
like
think that is?
Homer from 3,000-4,000 years ago was gonna understand that. No, I don't think so.
No, that's definitely fair. But yeah, other than that, none of it bugged me, really. I mean, they were all in it for maybe 3 minutes.
I thought I would be more upset about the DEI casting. Like, one of the grievances, and sort of like the Odyssey debate is like, there's a black guy as a soldier, and now I'm getting ripped out of Greece, and now like the fantasy's gone. Like I think it was kind of dumb. Like that was a non-factor for me.
People who like that is their main thing of why the movie's bad, like never gave the movie a chance. Which is what I say about you often, how like you walk into that theater and like, oh,
I'm getting a lot of shade for 4 out of 5 stars.
It's because I honestly do. It might be the same thing. I do feel like you walk into that theater like, this is not going to be a 5 out of 5 star movie.
No, I would never go into a movie like that. I'm a purely objective person. I look at things analytically, and I don't bring any of my biases into anything that I think. I just look at the pure facts and the logic, and I come to a decision. I am not burdened by what has been. I am burdened by the pure facts of what's going on in front of me.
I go into movies with an open mind. And you go into movies with all these things in the back of your mind. Oh, this is he's in it, he's in it. They should be in it.
Can I level with you? I don't think you go into a movie with an open mind.
Okay, I went to Disclosure Day, and it was like, this is going to be my favorite movie of the year. It's Steven Spielberg, it's Aliens. He made E.T. so perfect. And it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen, to be honest.
I have no comment. I didn't go and watch. I don't want to.
With example, The Mandalorian, you went into The Mandalorian with such a skewed vision of Star Wars because of, 7, 8, 9, that you didn't give it a chance.
It's not true.
That is, you saw Rod the Hutt and you're like, oh, he has abs. I can't do this. When you just completely blew off everything else that was good.
It just wasn't really that compelling of a story.
What do you mean?
And Rod the Hutt shouldn't have abs. I mean, sorry.
We're devolving.
Sorry. He is the first. He's the first space slug in all of the universe who went to the gym and got abs.
Yeah,
the
because
first
he
one
wanted
ever.
to be different.
And then he also
it's
learned
a part of the movie.
Yeah, but that's not a part of his biology, brother. The
He
slug
wanted
is
to
not
be
going to have
completely
abs.
different.
You cannot tell me that George Lucas going into that film thought that there was going to be a slug with abs.
Yeah,
no
he
one
never
did.
even thought
That's
about
the
that
most
for a
unbelievable
second.
part of Star
No,
Wars.
no.
The slug with abs.
I think so.
Not
I
the
thought it was
space
crazy.
witches, not
thought it was
the
crazy.
wizards that have
He
electric swords.
explains. Rada explains himself in the movie.
They
I
come
don't
from
want to be
rocks.
like my father. Don't want to be like Jabba, who's a horrible scumbag. So I want to be different.
So I went to the gym and I just grinded.
No,
and I started pumping myself with tests, and I got the
got caught up
creatine.
in-
And I was
He
like
got
3 times a day. And
got
I also
caught
went
up
to
with
the
the
English
wrong-
department and I learned how to speak a different
Okay,
language.
I'll give that to you. He was with other people. He should have spoke. What?
Yeah. Okay. This is devolved.
Yeah. Okay.
This is devolved.
What movie are we talking about?
Did anyone else have pros? Weren't we talking about pros for the movie?
Yeah. Robert Pattinson and Hathaway. I feel like every scene they were in was some of the best scenes. With like especially at the end when they're all the suitors are in the spot and Robert Pattinson says the funny line, but then he also is like,
Sorry, what was the funny line?
someone get these beggars out of here.
Okay, thank you.
But like,
Just so you know.
where he was like, we get the point. None of us are like Odysseus. None of us can pull the bow, and like her facial expressions through all that. Like that scene is probably one of my favorite scenes of all time of anything.
I agree with Pattinson. Pattinson?
Pattinson.
I don't know. I know him as Batman.
True. You don't think Anne Hathaway was good?
Not to the same degree that he was.
No.
I thought Anne
You're
Hathaway,
upset about the.
I thought Anne Hathaway had some. I mean, like, she just seemed to be the same old Nolan character where she's, gonna give some weird speech about something, and I'm gonna think it's garbage.
Like
and I'm just
what?
gonna throw it out.
Like in what?
Huh?
Like in what?
Interstellar.
What speech does she give?
Oh, she gives a whole speech about love transcends all boundaries, the space-time continuum. I'm just sitting there like, good grief. I can't deal with this.
It's not like her boyfriend or whatever got like stranded on one of the
There we go
planets.
again.
I don't know. You know what? I watched
And
it so long ago.
so if you had a girlfriend, that was
All right, we're too far. We can't imagine this.
on a separate planet, and you had to choose one or the other. You don't want to go to the one where he's at.
You understand that like that whole speech thing was regarding the wormhole back to what's her name, Murphy in the
I haven't
library
seen it so
type
long.
deal.
She
It's
gave
so
a speech.
well. Let's not talk about it. It's so dumb. It's completely the worst. And the minute I'm gonna be honest, when I first watched the film, she was not a problem to me. And then the second time through, and she's doing this like, I want Odysseus back, I want Odysseus back, I want Odysseus back. And then right before that final scene, she just throws in like this, if I was a man, I'd be king, but I want Odysseus back. Like, why'd you do that? Like it was like we tripped at the 1 yard line. Like they were still able to recover the ball and score the touchdown. But like that was a speed bump for me. That really annoyed me. That bugged me. That was
didn't
feminist
bother me at all.
propaganda that just sort of like popped up.
It didn't
for the
bother me
love of the
one
game,
bit.
for just to probably get the Oscar and make people happy. Kinda bugged me.
I don't care about any of that.
I think it kind of like takes away from Penelope's love for her husband, though, because in the poem she is staying up all night and she's weaving this and unraveling it so that she never has to remarry. But kind of in the movie, it makes it seem more like I'm only waiting for my husband because I'm not allowed to be king. But really, Penelope is supposed to be longing. Not for her king back, but for her husband.
Yeah, but
I
like
think
there
she
were
does.
parts where
She
that was
literally
that.
goes, I don't
That was
want.
one of the top.
Yeah, and that's the whole point is that she does that the entire film, and then she says
then she
that,
stops, yeah.
which is like it's just like a complete other.
No, but it makes it
thinking
seem more
mindset.
like maybe she's not waiting for Odysseus. She's waiting for like a reason to get these people out of here.
She doesn't want to be kicked out of the castle.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
she say that earlier? Like, oh, if I marry one of these suitors and then my son takes over, then I have to go live with one
She
of these
literally
suitors.
goes into exile with Odysseus at the end.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
that.
So
Which
it's
is-
not about the.
that-
She
I
has to
know,
say,
I
I've
know.
been on
That's
this
the
empty
whole
throne for
point.
20
it
years.
doesn't make sense why that was in there. They could have cut that dialogue, and I wouldn't have had a single problem with the character because the character was consistent until then. Then it was inconsistent, and then it was back to consistent. If we would have cut that scene, it would have been a perfectly thought out, clear character the entire time. And that's why I thought like she still did great, but like she tripped. She Daniel Jones.
That's not her
She-
acting.
Daniel
That's
Jones
the writing.
tripped. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Like that doesn't matter.
You can't be like, oh, the writing was horrible. Take your Oscar away.
I didn't say that.
That's why
Like,
you
she's not earning an Oscar. For
I don't
that.
think the
She should
shade
get
is
Best
being-
Supporting
I don't
Actress,
think-
100%.
That would be crazy.
I don't think the
That's
shade.
not crazy at
I don't
all.
think
That
the
would be
shade is
crazy.
going to her. I think the shade's going to the movie.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying that it's not her acting. No, he's saying it is her acting. That's the problem there.
Dom, she's not gonna. She shouldn't win Best Supporting Actress for that. She shouldn't. Maybe what's his bucket could win Best Supporting Actor. I thought he did good.
Pattinson?
Batman, yeah, Batman.
Let's go to the. Well, we've already kind of stepped on the negatives, but maybe we should go to the negatives.
I have one negative, and I thought it was a little slow to start. Like the whole building up to where's Odysseus right now was. I mean, it wasn't bad at all. It just took a little longer than I thought it should.
I thought that initially off rip, and then watching it the second time, they were. I mean, they still could have cut some. There was some fat in there, but they did add much necessary context for people who didn't actually know the story. And like, I think sometimes, at least in my head, I sort of assume that everyone went through sort of like a similar education to me, where they, had an English teacher who said you have to read through this poem and write a paper about it. But like, I think those were slow steps that needed to happen in order to set up, for instance, they set up the dog at the beginning, so when the dog's lying in the pile of crap at the end, like we understand that he's setting up the relationship with like the blind guy.
Yeah.
Like there's all sorts of things that are being set up for the final scene that at the beginning you're watching it, you're like, come on, what is this?
Mhm.
But it
And
does.
it pays off
it
at
does
the
matter.
end very well.
I wish there was more deception. Like in the book, Odysseus is like, we obviously saw with like the Trojan horse thing, like he's a deceitful guy, that's what he does. But they cut out a bunch of stuff like that Cyclops scene right? When they
Mhm.
kind of just went gung ho, we're gonna stab him in the eye. In the book, he talks.
He talks to him. Yeah.
He talks.
I
And he
wish
goes,
they. Yeah.
"My name is nobody,"
Hmm.
and there's a whole thing about the Cyclops. You know, he eventually does get poked in the eye, and he goes, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
nobody poked me in the eye.
Uh huh.
Dad, go get nobody."
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and then
And that's
there was
what
also a
leads-
certain level of arrogance
Mhm.
that I thought was missing from Odysseus. Like, you know, in the book, he tells the Cyclops' name at the end.
Haha, you got mogged by Odysseus. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, you got
And that's
mogged
why
by
Poseidon's
Odysseus.
mad.
And that's why Poseidon got mad at him. But they had to. I guess they wanted to replace it by just shooting a kind of meaningless arrow that
Well, that
kind of
was-
went against Odysseus's beliefs for the rest of the movie.
Well, yeah, that was more of a revenge shot, though. Like,
because he spits the armor out.
He, well, he shoots it and then says, like, that was for all the men, essentially. But, like, honestly, I agree. Like, they should have leaned into that trope because that's really what he's known for, like, as a character.
So that's just a lot of fun. It'll be
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, but, like, if they would have had him be like that the entire time, it sort of goes against the whole "I regret the Trojan horse" plot point at the end. Like, then it's not consistent. I'll give Nolan the flowers in the sense where I thought his character of Odysseus was consistent throughout the film, which is helpful because, you know, if not, then he's sort of just this bipolar guy, and I never really understand like who he is. So, although he's not, you know, Odysseus in like a traditional sense, he's Odysseus in Nolan's mind's at least consistent, which is nice. I appreciate that, but
I think it makes it easier for you to root for him. You know,
True.
if there's not a bit of you that's like, that guy's
Real
kind of a jerk.
Odysseus was pretty pretty stanky. The witch that turns his men to a pig, like in the poem,
that
he
was
sleeps
so
with her,
Mhm.
and
For like a year, no?
yeah,
Like,
and
for
then
a long
Calypso,
time.
Yeah, no,
Calypso,
yeah.
they fall in love.
Yeah.
Like the real character of Odysseus is a cheater, and he's arrogant, and he took no issue with sacking Troy. In fact, he probably felt great pleasure. And then he sacked the suitors, and he took his throne, and I'm Odysseus, and I'm the one who shot you, Cyclops, and you know, like
yeah, and I guess it makes sense why, especially with our 21st century, like people getting offended by everything, why you and also, yeah, it would be incredibly difficult to root for a guy like that because, you know, if you met Odysseus in real life, the way the poem portrayed, he would kind of be the most arrogant guy ever, and he would,
cheer for the suitors.
yeah, he'd be terrible.
Which is why it didn't bother me at all that they changed it completely.
Well, you mean the
How he felt bad for everything.
maybe let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about essentially the my big rub with the movie. My big rub with the movie. I mean, like, there are a bunch of people who've talked about 100 different things about the DIY casting or whatnot. I don't really care that much. But like the Odysseus coming to the end of the film and regretting the Trojan horse and regretting that sort of deception that he did really bugged me because it completely goes against, like I said, the character of Odysseus, and I understand that, like, that would be sort of a tough person to root for, like if he's consistently that way throughout. But honestly, I thought it was pretty dumb, and like, I don't know. It seemed like a bunch of virtue signaling to people who, you know, like, to a society that thinks like every war is bad and like aggressors are always bad and that sort of thing. But I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like that. I thought of anything that really went against the heart of the Odyssey, and especially didn't make sense concerning the Trojan War before that and them going to retrieve Helen, which is why I was confused when Helen was so like, ooh, I can't believe you came and saved me. That guy in the black armor was really the worst, which is why my
Well, he was.
yeah, I
the
mean
worst.
he was the worst, but the way the movie like framed that up is like, oh, what was his name, Agamemnon or whatever,
Agamemnon.
He was the worst.
like
but
he sort of
He was
sparked
super
the Trojan
cool.
War in order to like gain monetarily, which I mean is kind of dumb.
Yeah,
but,
I still give it 5 out of 5. Didn't bother me a bit.
No, I don't hate the like not making Odysseus like a total jerk, but I do agree with Anthony a little bit on like the whole like, oh, war is dumb all the time, and you know, peace and love, man. Like that, it is hard in an action movie that is about, you know,
War.
Odysseus, about war, to be like, oh, it actually was all dumb. Like it is a little bit inconsistent.
well, and
I think Nolan does a good job of it. Like he builds it throughout the movie, and he like in the little scenes, like the Cyclops, right? Like, he did everything right with the Cyclops, and then it was like, oh, he got a little out of hand, and was like, oh, vengeance, and he was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Or like even the thing with the pigs, like the way what's her name, Xerxes? Cersei? Yeah, her. Like the way that she's like, oh, they're like pigs, they're all just pigs, and then like kind of the way it's doing the same thing with the suitors, and it's like, oh, we all suck, like men are really the worst, not like people are really the worst, and we're always just gonna, you know, destroy things and crap all on things. And
I think
burn
that was
things.
a shot at the male gender. Yes.
Yeah, probably. But like I thought that like the way Nolan made that consistent throughout the whole film, and he brought that up in things like Cersei's, and I thought he did a good job once he made the decision that he was going to do that.
Yeah, which is why I think I can have all these complaints and still say it's a 4 out of 5 movie, because at least he was consistent. Besides, I think the Anne Hathaway thing, that wasn't consistent for like that one moment. He was consistent in his storytelling throughout. Do I think he always hit the right sort of themes or what the characters were portrayed like? No, but at least it was like not sort of fluctuating throughout, which made it, you know, still a good film. Like I still really enjoyed it.
And what brings it down from 5 stars to 4 stars for you? Like, what's the star? This is just Attack Anthony session right now.
I think like taking down, like there were sort of a death by a couple paper cuts concerning like maybe like one of the half of the stars, like Helena Troy thing.
Half of the stars, Helena Troy.
No, like Helena Troy being upset that the Trojan War happened, and Hathaway's weird like I want to be king.
You tell me that one sentence brought down a whole star. Well, half a star.
No,
for you.
you're
let him
missing.
cook.
You're missing
Let
it.
him cook.
There were small things that happened in the film that brought it down to one of those half stars, and then also to bring it down to 4 was the fact that I didn't like how Odysseus was particularly portrayed
At the end. Or is this? Oh,
Throughout
sorry.
the film.
Yeah. Okay.
So like one of the half stars, so like was regarding Odysseus, and the other one was sort of just like a bucket of just sort of grievances that I had against certain parts of the film. Although, like I said, I still think a 4 out of 5 movie is like a great movie.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Like I don't think just because Christopher Nolan made a great film, I have to be just like, oh, 5 stars. Thank you,
Well-
Christopher Nolan.
Sure.
I think if it's a smaller director, you don't give 4 out of 5 stars. You give it a higher rating. I think you're more critical because it was Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
The same thing with Star Wars.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing: if you walk
Here's the
into,
thing.
how would I say this? When you say "here's the thing" and your name's Jonathan, something lame's gonna happen. If you say "here's the thing" and it's me, it's something legendary is gonna happen. Okay, so if you walk into a McDonald's
That looked good.
and you get a good hamburger, you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna have a better positive experience in your mind because you understand like sort of what the threshold bar is. Like, you're never gonna say that McDonald's hamburger is 5 stars, but like it's gonna be, you're probably gonna rate a little higher than expected. When you walk into Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, which I mean, Christopher Nolan is sort of like the Gordon Ramsay of film. Like he's one of those guys, like a Spielberg. Like and he gives you something and it's a little bit worse than expected. You're gonna just naturally be a bit more critical because of who's actually delivering the product. And that's something that's, you guys might not admit it, that's something you're all going to be doing when you think through it.
Yeah, but Mr. Oh, I'm all about facts and logic.
Yeah,
I don't bring any of that into the film.
Jonathan, that is a facade. That is not reality. That is just me being a goober.
Oh, okay.
That's not real.
20 minutes ago.
That's not real.
So it's a 4 out of 5 Nolan film, not a 4 out of 5 film.
I think it's a 4 out of 5 film. I'm saying Nolan being the writer of the film affects the stars. But like I don't think I would say it's a 4 out of 5 Nolan film. I think it's 4 out of 5 film. But Nolan doing it does affect how I rate the movie, yes.
So it's a lower star Nolan film.
I'd say so. Cause like there are some Nolan films that I just like a buttload better. Like I watched the first time maybe a month and a half ago, the Prestige, which is about like these 2 magicians who are dueling. And it, at first it seemed like this really like dumb idea, but like concluded in such an awesome way. Like that's a 5 out of 5 Nolan film for me. Like the Odyssey, like in terms of like rating a Nolan film, I would probably put,
If the Odyssey was shorter, would it be a 5 out of 5 for you?
no. It has nothing to do with length for me. I think it's in my head. If I'm rating the Nolan films, it's like 3 or 4.
The Odyssey?
Yeah. So I like the Prestige.
I
and
love the
Dark Knight.
Prestige, but there is so much more downtime in that than there is in the Odyssey.
What do you mean?
Like, the whole, I don't even, Christian Bale's character, he's kind of just, I don't feel he's walking around for like 20 minutes.
That's the grievance you're making? Dog,
No, I'm just
that
saying.
is literally what the Odyssey was a lot.
But there's always action.
we're-
There's always something happening.
We're bringing in the boats. We anchor the boat. We're walking
And they're
on the
getting
land.
chased by
We're
the
walking
8-foot
through-
tall
we're walking through the forest.
Lycra.
We see the big guys in the armor.
How would you
We
like?
run away.
How,
Yeah.
Anthony?
We
how,
sail to the next spot. We get them.
That's the story.
Yeah, but what
And
I'm
they
saying,
made it
I'm
interesting.
not the one whining about that. You are. You're the one whining about downtime. There is not even close to the level of downtime in the Prestige.
I just
there
don't
is in
get
the
it,
Odyssey.
Anthony?
I don't-
How
And
would
if you say that, that is absurd.
Hey Anthony, how would you like them to get on the land? How would you like them to get there? If they're not allowed to walk.
Gods.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Poseidon
I'm
picks
not-
up their
I'm-
boat and
I'm
throws them
not-
to the next
I'm
guy.
not the one whining about
Momoa.
He's the one whining about the downtime in the Prestige, and I'm just saying there is downtime in the
I
Odyssey.
love the movie. I'm just saying it's both are 5 out of 5s in my book. It's just you're hating on one. No.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with the downtime. I've told you my grievances with the one. I have told you my grievances with the Odyssey. And that's fine. Like here's the thing. We are nickel and diming right now when we all thoroughly enjoyed the movie. And which is you understand that I am not on the same team as like probably the people who have said similar critiques, because I think they are truly blinded by like,
Oh, for sure.
so when I can sit here and give all these critiques and then say the movie's 4 out of 5 stars, you shouldn't be pulling
No,
out a
that's-
gun and continuing to shoot at me. You should say, thank you, Anthony. Thank you for, not just seeing some little grievances and just shooting down the entire film as if it was garbage, because that's not true.
I had a big issue with the island, with Calypso.
How bad?
A lot of things. First of all, Calypso in the movie is kind of acting like a guardian, I'd say. Just watching over Odysseus, and his mind's too fragile to have the concept of he has something to get back to, but really it's just because he doesn't want to remember. That was weird. Also, they kind of combine a couple things. So there's the land of the Lotus Eaters, where they go to in the poem,
Yep.
and the lotus makes you not want to come home. It doesn't make you forget.
Yeah.
So there's a big discrepancy
They, like,
there because he's
blended it.
eating it and he's forgetting who he was and everything he went to. But really, the lotus is supposed to just say, "Oh, I like eating this flower. I don't want to go home."
Mhm.
So there's an issue with that. And then they totally took away the idea that Calypso is keeping him captive.
Yeah.
And so instead of having Calypso keeping him captive, he's keeping himself captive because he really just doesn't want to go home, which is so not Odysseus. Odysseus wants to go home. That's the whole point of the Odyssey, is that Odysseus wants to go home. And he keeps running into these obstacles.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that Odysseus didn't want to go. Like that, like even thinking about that now, I don't really understand how that plays out, because like he didn't want to go home because of his great like sin against Troy. Was that the idea?
I think that's what they were getting at. Because when he's like dressed up in the beggar outfit and they're talking through the screen, he's like, yeah, he mentions like about his shame and how maybe that's why he doesn't want to come home or something.
When I heard the sirens, I realized I didn't actually want to get back to my castle,
because I felt so bad.
and I was just so
Which-
devastated for
which
this
wasn't my
brave act
favorite.
against humanity that I've done.
Which wasn't my favorite, but
Well, it's interesting because the Odyssey, like, the main overall point is not just it's about Odysseus wanting to go home, but the main like lesson that you're supposed to learn is like being a good host, and that's actually shown in the poem. And there's the law of Zeus thing in the movie. That doesn't necessarily show up in the poem, but you see time and time again, the Cyclops was a bad host because he was eating eating the people that were in his cave,
Oh, wait,
so he got punished.
You don't eat your guests.
And the suitors were uninvited guests in the house, and they got murked. But there was good hosts, like, believe it or not, in the Odyssey, in like the poem, the
Circe.
lady that turns people into
Circe.
pigs, she's a good host, and she doesn't kill anyone. And then you see bad hosts when the men eat the cows because they're guests there, and that was the main point of the Odyssey. And like they get a grasp of it, but they also lose it. And Calypso's a bad host because she's holding this man captive, and this is why like the excluding the gods in this kind of didn't work, because really the gods see Odysseus is here, he's trapped by Calypso, who really loves him. And so they send the gods to take like Odysseus out of there. But really they like switched it up so that Odysseus would have some sort of woe is me, I'm a bad person, I killed my enemies, boo-hoo, and it didn't really work, is what I've noticed from that. And it seems like they tried to smush everything that they missed, like with the Lotus Eaters, onto this island and like fill in gaps, and I just don't think it worked.
yeah, I feel like in the poetry, Calypso was more villainized, and in the movie, it was like
I'm
She
trying to
wasn't
help
really-
you.
yeah,
I'm
she
trying
wasn't
to
really
help
a bad
you
guy
come
at
to
all.
terms with your trauma. Odysseus is a soldier, and he kills people, and he sings about killing people, and people sing about him killing people. Like they take away his aura by making him like a little coward sometimes, and like even in the Troy, you can see him just stumbling around like, whoa, PTSD, man. Like.
But that would have been taken well. You're Christopher Nolan making a blockbuster film that's going to be seen by everyone across the country, and you want the majority of people in the country to like it. So,
Yeah, but
I'm going to include.
What I'm saying is like,
But
who is this
Christopher Nolan,
for?
you're supposed to let me like it. You're supposed to make it for me. That's a joke. That's a bad joke.
Leaving that.
So yeah, that was my big issue.
anything else.
I
That
get
was-
it. It
that
doesn't
was-
surprise me.
That was
the
actually
deal.
that was probably the best analysis that has been given at this table so far.
No, it's
That
a
was-
lot of like Dominic and Anthony yelling at each other, and then like it'll kind of be like a break, and then Benjamin.
And then there
will
was
be
just
like,
some straight philosophy going on.
Like I
I
think
think
he
that I
started
did.
floating in the middle of that.
I arrived. I ascended.
Any other thoughts?
So, do you You're saying best movie of the year thus far? 'Cause
Oh,
big,
by
big,
far.
big movie year.
Oh, by far. I watched Project Hail Mary. It was good. Wasn't that special to me. I know people would probably hate me for that.
Is that the one with
Ryan Gosling.
Dude,
Yeah.
he can do.
Yeah.
He can do everything.
And,
Ryan Gosling.
I think we'll figure that out in a couple months when he's in Star Wars.
oh, no, that's gonna be so bad. I'm so scared. Obsession.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Obsession. I love Obsession. That's up there. We'll be talking about that next week.
I think Obsession might be a good example of probably being rated a bit higher because
Oh,
of who
for
made
yeah.
it.
Well, because you go into it
Because
like
respectfully,
this is
that guy is
$750,000.
that guy is a he's a comedian.
Yeah,
Kind of
Jordan Poole.
like if you ever watch his on my video, he's kind of a clown. But like,
Yeah. And then he produces that for
that was-
less than $1 million and
yeah.
gets 400 million in return. So I love that. That's Odyssey Obsession right here. So yeah, Odyssey's top Nolan, top movie of the year for me.
At some point, we'll have to make a tier list.
Oh, 100%.
Oh. Gosh,
A Nolan tier list?
No,
Or
the
just-
2026 movie tier list.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the Nolan tier list.
You can do that on
Not a
Letterboxd.
bad, not a bad idea.
You can.
You can make lists.
Mm.
Are we doing like closing thoughts or?
Yeah, anyone? I can start, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, that's what I don't know what I'm gonna say. I loved it. I think anyone who completely counts it out because of the actors or what happens in the story is out of their mind. They're just blind to what
That's not the word.
they're
that
blind to.
I use.
They're blind to actual good cinematography. Is that the right word?
Hey, it's more profitable behavior.
I know, but there's just no joy in that. I want to go to a movie and I want to be like, I'm gonna love this.
Well, let's
and
see.
which is the difference between me and you.
Oh,
Hey, let's-
boy.
No, it's
That
true.
is-
I
that
go.
is a
I
cheap
go.
shot.
No.
Round
No.
and round
That
and
is
round.
No. I go.
It's like two
I go-
dogs chasing each other's tails.
Oh,
There's a
no,
diff-
this dog bites, and then I respond.
I go into a movie and I say, and when I'm done, I'll think, what was good about that? That's what I do. And then maybe I'll go into later, I didn't like this. You go into a movie and you go, what was bad about that? And then you think only on the bad things.
I don't know.
Yeah, quit being a negative Nancy.
I don't agree.
But
I imagine
love that.
I imagine I go to a movie like a cup like this, and I take the film. Okay, I take the film and I watch. I watch as the film director fills my cup, and at some point he stops, and then I look in the cup and say, "Oh, he filled it 4/5 of the way." The movie was 4 out of 5 stars. That's what I do.
sure.
What does Dominic do?
He here. This is what he
No,
does.
no.
He completely fills the cup, and as he looks at the movie, he takes some sips, and then he actually sees what the film is. So
So I enjoy movies.
yeah. You enjoy movies, and I am a very critical person.
There we are.
All right.